On February 28th, an American F-15E Strike Eagle was shot down over southern Iran. The downed pilot spent 36 hours evading capture, climbing a steep mountain ridge with severely injured legs. Tehran immediately placed a bounty on his head. Navy SEALs eventually extracted him, but the mission cost the U.S. military 2 destroyed transport planes. This chaos was the exact opposite of the original campaign objective, a fast, decisive knockout blow to Iran's strategic capabilities and leadership. Entering month 2, that knockout blow has failed to materialize. The Iranian regime remains fully intact, while the rest of the world braces for a long war. Without a clear military victory to point to, the American president is issuing increasingly aggressive ultimatums online. Donald Trump has set a strict Tuesday deadline, threatening a massive strike if Iran does not immediately reopen the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway is the geopolitical epicenter of the conflict. It dictates the flow of global energy, and by extension, global economic stability. By surviving the initial air campaign, Tehran has transformed a localized military contest into a global economic hostage situation. To survive the onslaught of a superior military, Iran relies on a doctrine of strategic patience. The United States military operates through overwhelming centralized force. Iran counters this by decentralizing control and building redundancy into every level of defense. This network provides Iran immense geographic depth, utilizing proxy militias like Hezbollah, the Houthis in Yemen, and various fringe elements in Iraq. These proxies open multiple fronts simultaneously, deliberately exhausting American military bandwidth and eroding domestic support for the conflict. Their second and most powerful lever is the maritime choke point at the Strait of Hormuz. Iran successfully shifted the battlefield from the mountains of Isfahan to the global supply chain, neutralizing U.S. air superiority through economic leverage. The closed strait creates an economic nightmare for the West, stagflation. This is the combination of high inflation and stagnating growth. This chart shows the math of the crisis. We see a sharp, aggressive spike in energy costs intersecting with a flatlining curve of global economic growth. This pressure is already fracturing the transatlantic alliance, as European partners weigh their security loyalty against their own economic survival. Inflicting severe economic pain on an adversary's allies can be far more devastating than bombing their military bases. The conflict has entered a phase of managed stalemate, a grinding contest where neither side holds a winning edge. To break the deadlock, Washington is considering a high-risk ground invasion of Karg Island. It would require complex amphibious landings and guarantee heavy casualties. The low-risk option is a tactical retreat after a few final strikes. This avoids a ground war, but leaves the Gulf insecure and damages American credibility. The U.S. is currently trapped in a strategic matrix, where military escalation risks disaster and withdrawal risks global humiliation. Meanwhile, powers like Russia and China are quietly capitalizing on the disruption to secure energy flows and expand their own strategic space. Neutral nations are caught in the crossfire. India, for example, is walking a diplomatic tightrope while trying to manage domestic energy security and rising fuel costs. That Tuesday deadline marks a pivot point. Whether it ends in a forced deal or renewed strikes, the assumption that this would be a quick, manageable conflict is gone. This crisis proves that in the 21st century, even the most powerful conventional military can find its options constrained by the asymmetric weaponization of time, of physical geography, and the global economy.